Brad Williams, Frugal Finance, impulse shopping. Oh my goodness. I am not guilty of this, but so many people are. And I'm not going to say good or bad. It is a thing we do, but it's not good. It's not healthy. And I am introducing this simply by going to Google, stop impulse buying. And here we go. You can see page after link after link. And we'll just go here about impulse spending. You know, there's experts left and right. I'm just going to give you my philosophy, and you could take it for what it's worth. One, Frugal Finance. That kind of tell you who I am in terms of my thriftiness. Is it good or bad? Personally, I enjoy it. It's a game for me. I am not into consumerism any way, shape, or form. So when I shop by a list. That means I have a list. When I go, even if it's online, I have a list. And I don't sway from it at all. Not a bit. And I have my particular methodologies. It's thrifty. I buy in bulk. I don't buy in individualized, I don't buy Cokes because I don't drink Coke. I don't do the sugar thing. I don't go to restaurants. Clothing is not that big of a deal. Transportation is not that big of a deal. I try to cycle everywhere I go. That's just me. Now, in terms of why this information is here, it's because there are different rules people make. Women have their rules and men have their rules, and they violate them left and right. People bitch and moan about, I don't have any money. Well, perhaps if you go out into your garage, or worse, if you go to your storage unit, and that should kind of give you a clue. If you have a storage unit, a self-storage, most likely you are an impulse buyer. You have your fishing boat in there because your garage is too full of crap that you've been buying. I have family members that would hang out at Harbor Freight, and they would that was their deal. They love buying crap from Harbor Freight. And I went through their garage, and it was an overkill. There were triples drills. Why? I don't know. There were more redundant tools, and I'm picking on men right now, but women, holy smokes. Really? Do you need 7 blouses that all look the same? Do you need 13 pairs of shoes? Do you need every knickknack in the house? I don't know. But the point here is, are you preparing yourself for retirement? That's the bottom line. If you are overspending today, you might have troubles when it comes to retirement because you were an impulse buyer, buying stuff that they end up in the trash, or you have yard sales and you sell the stuff at 10 cents on the dollar. How do you stop this? Well, you may ask yourself this simple question. How did I get here? The song. All right. This is my beautiful house. This is my beautiful wife. How did I get here? Well, how did you get here? Well, there's a certain endorphin high, I guess. This is what people tell me. They just feel good. They buy stuff and then they give it to family or friends, and that makes them feel good. Is it responsible? Well, again, if you're 30 or 35 and you are just, your credit card balance is way too high because you're buying too much of this stuff. Your retirement, you're going, well, what retirement? And you're going, what about my bills? And you have excessive bills because you're an impulse buyer. You have to think in the long term here as to how are you going to retire comfortably, and think 30 years from now, you're going to need $2.5 million to retire comfortably. You need about $1 million plus today if you're 65 to survive the next 25 years. On average life now for men, 84 and a half. For women, it's 87 and a half. And if you want to retire, you're going to need 22 years. So you do the numbers. If you're spending today, thinking that everything's going to be peachy keen 35 years from now, you might be wrong. But again, I can't answer that. But the point of this video is impulse buying is not healthy. And you might want to ask yourself, what problem am I solving every time I go out and I'm impulse spending? All right. I'm not talking about walking through the grocery store and you pick up a pack of gum at the checkout line. That's is really not the point here. That is impulse buying. That's why they're marketing this stuff, to impulse you to buy stuff. But I'm talking about if you're buying clothes that are not necessary, or you wear them once, or if you're buying tools you'll never use, or if you're buying, I don't know, something that is really attractive when you walk into Home Depot. It's this beautiful friggin' tool. If you're doing a tile repair deal, or if you're doing something, a huge, let's say a huge air compressor that is so over the top that you could go down a couple notches, but this is persistent over and over and over and over, and you're only a DIYer and you're not a professional kind of contractor, and you do this repeatedly, you overbuy. That's the same thing as impulse spending. Be cognizant of this. Again, as I open this, if your garage is overwhelmed with stuff, and then you have a self-storage facility that's overwhelmed with stuff, maybe you fit this category and you go, well, I can deny it, or I can look at it and I can redirect my spending and look forward to, I don't know, maybe redirect that to retirement. Then at 65, you can go on your impulse spending and knock yourself out. I don't know. These are just things I think about with frugal finance. Get rid of that waste and think about saving for the future. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Thanks for watching.